In a quaint and picturesque town nestled in the heart of a lush valley, there lived the good people of Hamelin. They were a content lot, living in harmony, working diligently, and celebrating life's simple joys. Hamelin was known for its bountiful fields, lively markets, and the sweet sound of laughter that filled the streets. In the heart of Hamelin, there stood a grand and imposing town hall where the town's council gathered to make decisions for the betterment of the community. It was a place of wisdom and reflection, the center of Hamelin's civic life. Among the council members there was a wise and compassionate mayor named Heinrich, who was beloved by the townsfolk for his fairness and commitment to their welfare. One fateful day, Hamelin was besieged by an extraordinary predicament, a plague of rats. These were no ordinary rodents, but plump, voracious creatures that seemed to multiply with each passing hour. They swarmed through the streets, feasting on the people's food and spreading fear and disease. The townspeople were at a loss. They tried traps and poisons, but the rats seemed to scoff at all such attempts. As the days turned into weeks and the weeks into months, the people of Hamelin grew desperate. The once happy town had become a place of despair, its streets filled with the incessant squeaking of rats. One evening, as the sun painted the sky with shades of amber and gold, a stranger arrived in Hamelin. He was a tall, thin man with a long coat of many colors that shimmered like a rainbow in the waning light. He wore a hat adorned with feathers of the rarest birds and carried a flute made of pure silver. The stranger approached Mayor Heinrich and said, "I can rid your town of these vermin, but it will come at a cost." The mayor, who had a reputation for being shrewd in matters of the town's treasury, was intrigued. "What do you want in return?" he inquired. The stranger looked around at the misery that had befallen Hamelin, and his eyes were filled with a hint of sadness. "I want 1,000 gold pieces," he said, "and I want you to promise me one thing, that you will honor your commitments and be a better leader to your people." Mayor Heinrich, seeing no other way out of the rat predicament, agreed to the terms. The townsfolk, though initially skeptical, were desperate for relief and trusted their mayor's judgment. The town treasury was emptied to pay the stranger, and the people of Hamelin watched with bated breath as the man began to play his silver flute. The enchanting melody that flowed from the stranger's flute was unlike anything the people had ever heard. It resonated with a mysterious power, drawing the rats out of their hiding places. The rats followed the piper through the streets, mesmerized by the music, and as he led them to the river Weser, they plunged into the water and drowned. The people of Hamelin cheered, for they were finally free of the plague of rats. The piper returned to the town hall to claim his reward. Mayor Heinrich, however, had a change of heart. He thought the stranger had asked for too much, and he refused to pay the promised 1,000 gold pieces. Enraged, the piper warned the mayor of the consequences of breaking his promise. With a mournful tune on his silver flute, he departed Hamelin, leaving behind a town that was rat-free, but not without its own troubles. The very next morning, the children of Hamelin began to disappear. It was as if they were spirited away by an invisible force, leaving their homes and families grief-stricken. Panic and sorrow gripped the town as one family after another realized their children were gone. Mayor Heinrich, his heart heavy with guilt, sought the piper out. He begged the stranger to help, to bring back their beloved children. The piper, his eyes filled with sorrow, told the mayor that he could only bring back the children if the town learned the true value of promises and the importance of keeping their word. And so, the piper returned to Hamelin, his flute's mournful notes echoing through the town. The townspeople, in their anguish, had a change of heart. They realized that their mayor's broken promise had caused them immeasurable grief, and they vowed to be better, more honest and compassionate people. As the people of Hamelin came to understand the significance of their commitments and the value of trust, the haunting tune of the piper's flute began to change. It transformed into a melody of hope and redemption, a reminder that promises must be kept and the welfare of the community should be a top priority. One by one, the children of Hamelin returned to the town, emerging from the Weser River where they had been kept safe and sound by the piper's magic. They were embraced by their joyful parents, and the town of Hamelin celebrated not only the return of their children, but also their newfound wisdom in honoring their commitments. The mayor, in particular, had learned a valuable lesson. He ensured that the piper received not only the promised 1,000 gold pieces, but also an apology for breaking his word. The stranger accepted their gratitude and the recompense graciously, understanding that the people of Hamelin had grown into better versions of themselves. From that day forward, Hamelin became a town known not only for its prosperity, but also for the integrity and kindness of its people. The story of the Pied Piper of Hamelin served as a timeless reminder that promises must be kept, and the welfare of the community should always be a top priority. And as for the mysterious piper, he disappeared into the mists of history, leaving Hamelin with a legacy of redemption, growth, and a vibrant, rat-free community that would be remembered for generations to come.